Hi, I'm Brian with Clarity Experiences, and I'm here with Dave and Brian from GoGather. So we're super excited to be talking with you today on our AV Insights and Advice. We're doing a little bit of a customer spotlight today on partnerships. So we're going to talk about a variety of things in the event industry, and really focus on how we as companies work together and how do we create value for our end customers. So I'd love to just kick it off and say hello both to Dave and Brian. Welcome.
Thank
Brian,
you.
good to be here.
So
Thanks
great to be here.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, well, tell us a little bit about GoGather and kind of how it came to be, and what is it that you guys do in the event space, and then we'll kind of take the conversation from there.
Yeah, GoGather is a boutique event management agency. Brian and I have been working together in the event space for about 22 years now, and came up with the concept of GoGather really based around partnerships and gathering all of the right people and the right teams together.
Absolutely. We've been at it since 2008 now, so almost 15 years to age ourselves just a little bit, but we're thrilled to be here with Clarity. Actually, our partners are our greatest asset, for sure. Something that we realized a long time ago when we started the company was and even the meaning behind the name was about bringing the right teams together, the right individuals together. And so we're only as good as our partners, right? That our priority is to really make sure that we bring the best teams possible to our clients and really understand their needs first, and then who fits into that team. Who can we gather together to really help them execute their
Well, the
vision.
name is fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ever since the first time I heard it, I was like, I love it. I didn't even know you guys.
Right,
I'm like, I love that name.
Yeah.
So.
We took a lot of time and went through a lot of different stuff to come up
Right.
with it. We did.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, so really, creating that enthusiasm, that fun, really being able to, live events are stressful, I think, as we all know, and I think, the vibe that I've gotten from you guys and working with you, as a partner, it's a fun environment, and that's something that's super critical to Clarity and how we do our events, and it seems to be something that really is important to you guys as well. So tell me a little bit about kind of the culture of GoGather, and what is it that you bring to those customers that maybe is a little bit unique or different from your brand?
Right, yeah, it's a great question, and actually, to return the compliment on the name, Clarity Experiences, it's right there. I mean, we talk about the culture. The culture of live events really is an experience, right? And that's the first thing that we always want to consider is what is the attendee experience going to be? But not only the attendee experience, but what is the stakeholders experience going to be? What is the suppliers experience going to be? What is the executive experience going to be? The meeting planners experience? All of those people, and really make sure everybody's united around that common goal, that understanding of here's the effect that we want to have on these individuals that have taken time away from their families, away from their jobs, that sort of thing, to attend a live event. And there is no other experience like being somewhere in person and live, and that opportunity is huge. So how do we really help our clients fully leverage that opportunity? The opportunity, number one, the budget, the spend, the time, all of those things. How do we really create an experience where people go away and they're affected by that? They remember that, they recall it, they share it with their colleagues. And so, very long answer to your question, but our culture is always one of involvement, of the more the merrier, right? The more people that we can involve, the more people we can unite behind those goals, those objectives, that shared experience, the better.
Yeah, I think in that event environment, when you come to that, a lot of people come together to make that happen. And your organization helps to bring and choose all those different suppliers, vendors that come together. And what we want to kind of dive in today is talking about when you're in that live event experience, what's the difference between having somebody who you might call a partner versus somebody who's maybe considers themselves a supplier or a vendor. So talk a little bit about that. Nuance in how you work with the people that you bring to your events.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I mean, partnerships for us are relational and they're strategic. A vendor is typically someone that maybe is more of an order taker or like a waiter or waitress at a restaurant, whereas a partnership is a long-term strategic relationship where you're in this with us to understand our clients, their goals and objectives, what their culture is, what their personalities are, and what they want to accomplish with each event. And the partnership enables us to have a long-standing relationship with the client and build some consistency among their product and the delivery of the events.
Yeah, what we've noticed in working, with you and with your teams is that from the first opportunity that we work together to the second, to the third, and to the fourth, it builds upon those experiences that we share together. And that really creates a new and kind of, I would say, a higher level experience for the audience, for the attendees, for the planners, and like kind of doing that in a way that you feel like you're in it together, versus you're battling, as suppliers and as vendors. And so that's one of the things that we really value and appreciate, not only with you but with all of our end clients as well. Is live events are stressful. Being in those environments when stuff has to happen, it has to go live. You really want somebody, who you're familiar with next to you in those environments to really make those shows happen.
Yeah, and you asked about our culture earlier. I think that's one of the things that's ingrained in our culture is that our project leads and the people who are working on site at these events and have been working with all of our partners through the planning process are they're happy, they're calm, they smile, they keep a smile on the entire event. They take care of things as they come up. They don't panic. So they're proactive about making decisions when they're on site. They're not reacting to issues that come up.
Yeah, I think that goes into the why. Like, why does GoGather exist, or why, when you work with a new client, would they choose to work with GoGather or to work with Clarity Experiences? And understanding that why is something we like to do as an organization. And I think together, when we both know the purpose for that meeting and why that meeting is going to happen, it allows us to deliver a better product overall. So how do you engage your clients kind of with the understanding of why their event exists and what's the value behind that?
I think the most important thing for us is, again, to go back and really deeply understand our clients' business and their goals and objectives, but as well as their personalities. The way that they are able to interact amongst themselves and within their organization. What are the resources that they have within their organization? What are the strengths that they have? And to really start to build that relationship, and one of the words that comes to mind for me is that trust, right? And that takes time, and we understand that. So we rarely approach a client and say, hey, you need to give us everything, and we're going to go here behind the curtain and deliver you an event. No, what we want to do is understand what has been working for you in the past. What do you like? What are your pain points? What are your successes? Who are even the suppliers that you've worked with in the past? If it's another third party like us, what was going well with them? What were your challenges with them? And start to build that understanding and that trust, and then extend that trust to our suppliers. So when we talk about why an AV company or why an experienced company like yourselves versus in-house or a gear supplier, we often say, anybody can put gear in a room. Anybody can come and put a speaker and a projector or that sort of thing. For that matter, anybody can put food and beverage in a room or set up tables and chairs or a centerpiece. But what is the understanding of the overall experience that we're looking for? What is the level of trust that we have in those suppliers for them to help us elevate that, right? If we just simply put a screen and projector in a room and hey, it's on and it's fine, and there's no support of the speaker that's in there or understanding or anticipation of this person may need this adapter or this audio needs to be played, that sort of thing. If we're constantly unable to trust our partners to be able to be thinking about and doing those things, then we're not paying attention to, and our clients aren't paying attention to the big picture, the most important things. So we have to build that trust. We have to know that our suppliers really understand those overall goals and objectives, and then are able to bring in their expertise and their people to really execute on that and make sure everything is flawless. And again, like Dave said, that the hosts of the meeting, the stakeholders, are not in the least bit concerned, stressed about their program, and they're really there to focus on content and their attendees and their VIPs and their sponsors and the experience that everybody's having.
Yeah, events are emotional.
Yes.
And I think the attendees that are in the event can get disrupted very quickly, and then they lose their focus, and the purpose of the meeting is to share ideas, to train, to learn, to celebrate. And if you have a scenario where, for example, the adapter's not right, or when the person comes to speak, there's some problem or issue or whatever, you disrupt kind of that learning opportunity or that engagement opportunity or the emotional journey of the customers. And that's why the people are really more valuable than the items. At Clarity, we like to think of ourselves really as more of a service company, and with amazing people. The equipment and all the other parts we use are just kind of part of the overall infrastructure, where the real value is the experience of that show, and really being able to take the customers on that journey and get them that learning or that experience or that motivation that the end client is looking to achieve with that meeting. And I think that's really what's so valuable about working with you, is we understand the overall purpose, and we're there to really make that impact and make those events memorable. And so having a partnership and really working with a key AV company or production company can transform how events feel. And we've experienced that with you guys. And what has your experience been excuse me, with kind of working with different production companies and suppliers over the years, and kind of what's most valuable to you in that relationship?
Yeah, I think to start, relationships and personalities again mean a lot to us. And what's been great with us, with the Clarity team, is everybody fits right in. So our project leads work greatly with all the folks from Clarity. Everybody gets along great. They have fun on site, like we mentioned earlier. But one of the things that we also do with the Clarity team that we've seen that doesn't necessarily happen with some other production providers is we ask you to get involved early on in the process. So start joining our team on client calls, weekly calls, so you can really get to know them, but also understand what they're trying to accomplish through the event. Like Brian mentioned, we don't just try to hide everything. We want to introduce your team to the client, have them interacting directly, and really be able to affect the outcome of the event.
And that's all can be done based upon having trust.
Yes.
That's right.
And if you trust that the intentions of the partners you have are in the right vein and in the right way, then you can do that, and all of a sudden you gain so much more efficiency and productivity, and then the events can be fun.
Yeah.
We love it when we go to the events and everybody's having a good time. Whether it's the planners, whether it's the presenters, the audience, even the hotel staff or the venue staff. We want events to be a great experience for people to go to and walk away and say that was an amazing time that I had there for those couple hours or those 2 or 3 days. And if we can do that for the event industry, I think we're all achieving.
Absolutely.
What we set out to do.
Absolutely. Hey, and some of these events, it turns into lifelong relationships.
Yep. Well, my best friends have been built in this space, and we love live events. Well, I appreciate you spending time with us on AV Insights and Advice, and today having kind of a customer spotlight. I appreciate the time and it's taken, and we've enjoyed our last couple days together, and we're looking forward to a lot of fantastic events, over the coming years.
Absolutely. Thanks,
you,
Brian.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been awesome.
Appreciate it.